We're going to be taking a look at this three-wheel electric scooter next on Now You Know. So we're going to be taking a look at this three-wheel electric scooter called the Future 10. This scooter features a 500-watt hub motor powered by a 48-volt lithium-ion battery, which allows it to have a long range and a fast top speed. Unlike conventional electric scooters, the Future 10 has one wheel in the front and two wheels in the back, which allows for a new steering dynamic. So this Future 10 scooter has a plywood deck. It's painted white, obviously. It's got some pretty sticky grip tape on it, which is good. You're not going to fall off. And it has the flares here, so that when you're making sharp turns, you won't come in contact with the wheels. The three-wheel aspect of this scooter was not something that I was a fan of when I first started riding the Future 10. But after I spent some time with it, I actually grew to like it. The increased stability over a traditional two-wheeled scooter would be great for older or less experienced riders, and great for commuting. Unlike conventional scooters, this one takes a much more conscious effort at first to turn, but once you get used to it, it's actually really smooth. It's very easy. So the scooter has 5 different speed modes, as you can see right here, and you adjust them with these buttons. And modes 4 and 5 are the only actual useful ones that I've found. 3, 2, and 1 just go too slow, and I can't imagine you'd actually need them. So the acceleration of the scooter isn't anything exciting. It's not gonna peel your eyelids off, but you have to push the scooter to get going first. The scooter doesn't feel slow when you're moving on it, and you don't really need it to have fast acceleration because you're just probably going to be cruising through the city on this thing. You don't need to be flying. Each of the wheels on this scooter has a plastic fairing, which is really helpful for keeping water and mud out of the way when you're riding. The scooter does seem to have regenerative braking, although not stated. This engages only when the scooter is going above a certain speed, but we're not sure the exact speed value. The regen braking engages very suddenly and aggressively, and so it slows down very quickly. So when we got the scooter, at the end of the forks here, we had these little plastic end caps, and they came off very easily when we were adjusting the handlebars, so that's just something to watch out for. This scooter's battery life has really impressed me. I've been riding it a lot over the past few days, and I've only had to charge it once or twice. It has a stated range of about 20 miles, and I really think that you could get 20 miles out of this, because I was riding it almost full throttle the whole time on the fastest speed mode, and it really didn't drain much at all. The scooter suspension doesn't have enough travel to handle bigger bumps smoothly, and there is no front suspension. This makes for a fairly bumpy ride on the uneven surfaces that I rode on. So brakes with this scooter are really interesting because there's a brake on each wheel. In the front you have the regen braking with the hub motor, and then in the back you have a disc brake on each wheel. So when you first grab the brakes, you start braking with the front regen braking. And then as you continue to squeeze on the brakes, the disc brakes in the back will grab and slow you down to a stop. So something I noticed about the setup of this scooter is that the throttle is a little too far down. You have to really reach underneath the handlebar to get it. You can adjust this. There's a hex bolt under here that if you loosen, you can rotate this whole body. The throttle and the screen are all on the same piece. So if you do this, the screen's also going to rotate up, which may not be terrible though, because if you're standing on the board, you have to look down at a kind of weird angle. So if the screen was more parallel with the board, I think it would be helpful. One design thing I wish the makers did change is I wish that all the cables here were a little more integrated with the body. Now I know you have to have long cables for all the travel, but I wish it just was tucked in a little closer, because that way it wouldn't be so in the way when you're trying to fold it or just ride it. So folding this scooter is a little bit of a process. You have to come down here, and there's a little latch here that you can't really see very well, but you have to pull this latch, and then when you pull that back, you stand it upright. Now this took me a while to figure out because I thought that you would fold the handlebars down onto the deck, but it's the opposite. So then first thing you want to do once you have it up, make sure you lock this again, because otherwise it will come undone. So just push this piece back where it came from. Then you want to loosen the handlebar adjustment and put it all the way down. Lock it up again. And so once it's folded, the design allows you to actually just roll it, which, the brakes don't sound too good right now, but it rolls well. And it's also pretty lightweight, so it's not going to be much of a problem to get in and out of a car. So this scooter only weighs 34.7 pounds, so it's pretty lightweight and it's easy to get in and out of a car. It's not going to hurt your back. Unfolding the scooter, basically the same process. You have to undo this latch, pull it up, and then just push the handlebars forward, lock it again, and it just stands up Unfolding it is a lot easier than folding it. But then you're ready to go. So charging the scooter is really easy. You just open up this little flap right here, and there you have it. And I like that there's this space here which allows you to plug it in without having to fold it up. So right above where you plug in to charge, there is this little flap here. If you open it, it has USB ports. And now I'm not really sure what the practical use of these would be while you're riding, but I mean, I suppose if you stop somewhere and you have low battery on your phone, you could just plug it in and charge it from the scooter's battery. So this could be helpful in some situations. So putting air in these tires is not going to be a huge problem. You have your basic tire valve right here, just open it up in the back. One thing I do wish about the back though was that they were out at an angle, because it might be hard to get a compressor hose in there. On the front tire, however, it's actually a little bit easier. So it comes out at an angle here and it sticks out far enough that if you unscrew this, you can easily get a compressor nozzle on there. So the build quality of this scooter isn't anything super special, but it's not bad either. I'd say it's pretty much right down the middle. So one cool feature about this scooter is it does have automatic headlights. So on a day like today where it's nice and sunny, you're not going to see them come on. But if it starts to get dark out or if it's really overcast, they're going to turn on by themselves. So it's one less thing you have to worry about. So a problem that I've noticed with this scooter is that there's no way to lock the brakes. So if you leave it on a hill, it's just going to take off. Thank you so much for watching this review of the Future 10 3-wheel electric scooter. If you like this review and want to see more like it, like the video and subscribe to the channel. And now you know.